Clone Wars Season 1 Episode 3 Shadow of Malevolence. This is full lore breakdown and retrospective of this episode.
They call it the Balmora Run.
Balmora Run?
Fortune cookie of the episode says, easy is a path to wisdom for those not blinded by ego. Ego can cloud judgment and that is dangerous. How Jedi should manage that and how it clouds their enemies is theme of the episode. This is continuation of Malevolence arc, so chronologically this takes place right after the previous episode. Narration gives a swift recap of previous episode and there is nothing new to cover. At the beginning we see V-19 Torrent starfighters. Admiral Yularen gives briefing to clone troopers similarly to how he gave us recap at the beginning of the episode. See how clones don't look that unique in this scene? It was earlier in the war, so there is not really much individuality to see, but that will progress as much as the war and show will go on. And the clones we see here are from the Shadow Squadron. That's why we see a lot of protocol droids present, R2J8, R2I9, R5U8, and even Plo Koon's droid that matches him, R74. The LA-80 seen here has a special art and it is called Crab Bomber. Clone Wars will show us bunch of LA-80s with nose art that is supposed to resemble real life events, and here is the Kowakian monkey lizard, and we know these annoying creatures from original trilogy, and Orabesh translates to laugh this off. Anakin creates aggressive strategy, war really changes Jedi, and that clouds their judgment and puts them closer to the dark side. They were supposed to be keepers of the peace, not soldiers. We got a new clone here, pilot Matchstick, and we see that Matchstick's helmet he's holding is not the same he uses later. And there is another clone pilot, Broadside, next to him. In this briefing room there are office chairs, really similar to ones that were on Death Star. Anakin and his squadron are really confident in destroying Malevolence. Are they blinded by ego, or is this backed up by successful experience? I mean, clones definitely don't have as much experience as Anakin. When Malevolence is destroying another fleet alongside Venators, we see Pelta-class frigates.
Grievous, those battle droids are expensive.
Grievous destroys a droid and tells Dooku that the care Jedi show for their troops is their weakness. In a way he's right, but I doubt the Grievous really knew something about Sidious's plan like Dooku did. And it is also interesting to see how after Grievous destroyed this droid there is another one ready to take his place. Next separatist target is medical station for clones. There are 60,000 wounded clones and it is a large number that show us that this ongoing war is forcing Republic to use even more and more clones. The medical base forms Republic logo when we view it from above, and we didn't get a shot of it, but it was designed that way. Dooku says that attack on the medical station will put them out of their misery, and we saw that Dooku was different kind of Sith. He saw flaws within the Jedi Order and left to make a change, but the dark side corrupted him more and more, so he became even worse. This is really sick to tell himself as justification. Maybe he's trying to justify these awful actions because he still sees himself as some kind of savior from the Republic. And guess what? Escape pods are not missing in this episode either. Here are Y-Wings. They are of course ships we see first in the original trilogy, but here their design is the bridge. The Rebel version was a bit chopped compared to this, and that was the intention of visual effects art director of New Hope. It was supposed to be stripped down version of an older craft. This is better looking version of Y-Wing, including even this bubble turret, new edition. Droid present in a hangar is not Gong droid but Plank droid. Medical convoy that was attacked is in Rendelia system and is system near Naboo, so of course Anakin knows it well. We get to the medical station and Nalase is present. This is a new character who is however important to Camino and cloning, which we will talk about later. On board this station we see clone medical officers. It is an interesting position for clone trooper to be in the medical area, however we know that this is Camino on way to help themselves with work. Nalase says the line reminiscent of Leia's about hope from episode 4. Clones in Bacta tanks resembles Luke in episode 5. The station itself looks like a blend of Republic and Camino and technology, and that's most likely the case. Anakin's cruiser is called Resolute, and Obi-Wan's cruiser is called Negotiator, which is funny. Interactions between Anakin and Plo Koon are also funny when we think of it, because there is same voice actor who voices Obi-Wan and he also voices Plo Koon. But their dynamic is different. but still Plo Koon is the wise master who guides Anakin. We are going to action and we see Matchstick, and he has a really cool helmet design. Funny that his action figure is equipped with so many blasters when he is a pilot. Could this suggest more about his story, his past? Here is Plo Koon's Delta 7 Starfighter. It has hyperspace ring as the Starfighter itself could not jump to hyperspace. Our main characters are using Kelida Nebula to take this shortcut. Anakin knows this shortcut from smugglers on Tatooine and they call it Balmorra Run. Name Balmorra Run is because of nesting ground of giant Nibrei. This is a great continuity detail, as we saw small Nibrei in first episode of this series on Rugosa. Now we see them in this nebula. Nibrei feed on space gases, and I think they also resemble Purrgil. Maybe the idea of Purrgil came from this. Darth Sidious informs Dooku about the attack on Malevolence. Why did he do that? I think he wanted to save this weapon as of his interest, and also to test Skywalker. Vulture droids are present in this battle when Republic attacks Malevolence, and during the battle we lost Matchstick and Tech. These are big clone casualties. Iconic line I have a bad feeling about this is present. B1 droid says it, and I'm guessing every one of you knows this line. Even Grievous's ego could be referred to in this fortune cookie at the beginning of the episode, as he truly is confident that he will win this battle, and that's why he eventually loses, and not just here. They destroy the ion cannon last minute, another Death Star callback similar to the Rebels action in Battle of Yavin. Plo Koon says, from a certain point of view. This is Obi-Wan's line from episode 6, another fun callback because of Plo's voice actor. We end the episode with a shot similar to the ending of Empire Strikes Back. That's everything for details. Now let's discuss and rank the episode on the tier list. I'm not the biggest fan of this episode because of story and themes, but to start off positive, what was good about this episode? The visuals were great, and I know I said in previous episodes that the animation is not the best and this is earlier era of Clone Wars animation, but how they use this animation in this episode, even in space battles, it looks much better, which is weird to say. I don't know how, but I have a feeling like it looked cheaper in previous episode. Like they use Y-Wings and the whole mystical atmosphere with Nibrei, but I just don't find this whole episode entertaining. Plot is about stopping Grievous and Malevolence, and how things happen at the beginning of the episode is really convenient. Anakin briefs his squadron about how they will destroy Grievous and of course Malevolence. Moments after, Grievous decides to attack Medical Station, and that is the thing that gives away his location to Anakin so he can execute his plan on Grievous. And yeah, it's kinda weird how that all plays out. And speaking of Medical Station, this is supposed to be crucial location for the Republic and there are no defenses or any emergency plan, and I know they kinda tried evacuation in the episode, but they didn't help anyone. And the choice at the end when instead of destroying bridge with Grievous they destroy the ion cannon, it's not a big enough choice to sell me the theme of the episode. Shadow of Malevolence, I think from this Malevolence arc it's the worst one. Unfortunately this is often the case with these arcs that have 3 or 4 episodes. The middle part is often the worst part, but sometimes it surprises us, but this is not the case. This episode in the middle is just not the best. It could have been more about tracking Malevolence, maybe show us how hard it is to find this super weapon, which would be more fitting for the title, seeing what it does, and finally tracking it down would make the next episode climax even more satisfying. I also think Ahsoka shouldn't behave like she did in the episode, being more wise than her master, and this dynamic will change in later arcs, so this is not really consistent, so I find it weird too. This was an episode with cool moments, but it wasn't really for me story wise. I'll put it on C tier, B being more of an average tier, so I decided for C. It's not really episode to remember, but maybe I'm wrong. That's it, let me know your thoughts about the episode and if I missed anything in the video. This video takes a lot of my time, so to support me you can like, comment, subscribe or share. I'll see you next time.